Hi friends, this is Molly with Soul School Tarot and Astrology, and I am here with you today for your Astro Forecast for the period from February 8th through the 23rd. And this is the period from the full moon in Leo until we have a new moon in Pisces. So let's talk about this energy, you guys. I was checking out my Llewellyn's Complete astrological calendar to see, okay, what kind of big planetary aspects are we going to have to work our way through during this time period? And you guys, there's really not any. Okay, we got a Mercury retrograde. Right now, all planets are direct, and that's been true for all of 2020, which is funny because when all planets are direct, that means we're really moving forward in things. Okay, we are moving forward on our karmic paths as a collective, as individuals. But as we've just stepped into February, I keep seeing all these memes that like January was the longest year. Like it really has felt like the longest. I think I saw someone that said, wow, January was the longest 5 months of 2020. And it just, I don't know, man. It's been this weird energy, but yeah, things are definitely happening. Things are moving. Things are definitely moving forward. Okay. Mercury is going to go retrograde. I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in this, episode, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a separate astro forecast where I dig more into that. But the primary focus really is we have a couple planets shifting the signs that they're in. I'm going to be talking about the interpersonal planets today, okay? So Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter and Uranus, we've been talking about those. Those are very kind of like big life lesson-y planets, all right? So we've been dealing with a lot of that stuff. And this natal period, this lunar period, we're going to be bringing that home to how we interact with ourselves and one another in our interpersonal planets. So this is Mercury, Venus, and Mars is what I'm going to be talking about today. But of course, it all centers around this amazing, bright, exciting full moon in Leo. And so I'm going to talk a little bit of that's going to be the focus here today. Okay, so let's work up to that though and talk about the environment that this full moon is going to be happening in. All right, so the first astrological event of February that I want to talk about is the fact that Mercury is moving into Pisces on the 3rd. So I am recording this on the 2nd, so that's happening pretty soon. And this is a sign that it's going to go retrograde in, all right? Now, Mercury is not super comfortable in Pisces, so it's going to have a really dreamy effect on us, okay? It sounds like it's going to be rough, but I think that it's actually, there's something very magical about it. All right, so definitely keep your eye out for the Astro Forecast. Then I'm going to do on Mercury and Pisces. But I'm going to take a step back because what I forgot to explain really was the title of the video, Easy Like Sunday Morning. That's the song download that I got for this Astro Forecast, okay? So like I said, we don't have any major, huge life lesson planetary aspects happening during this period, but we do kind of have this sort of like dreamy energy, this energy where obstacles are kind of being removed. We're really, really able to move forward in this magical way, all right? So this Mercury in Pisces is an important aspect of that, all right? The Pisces is a mutable sign, so there's a lot of opportunity for growth and change and transformation, transmuting the energies that are present into the energies that are better for us. All right, so that's an amazing energy. I will say that as of today, on the 2nd of February, Mercury is currently in its shadow, so it's beginning its shadow phase. And what that means is right now we're at the 28th degree of Aquarius. That's where Mercury's at. It's going to travel forward until about the 16th or 17th when it turns retrograde, all right? And at that point, it's going to travel all the way back to the 28th degree of Aquarius where it sits on the 2nd of February. So that's going to happen on the it'll return to that degree in Aquarius on the 10th of March before it goes direct again. So keep an eye out for any conversations or major decisions that you have to make at this time may end up being revisited by the time we get to March 10th. So just keep an eye out like that. And like I said, keep an eye out for the Astro Forecast. I am going to be posting that once I get through all of my full moon readings, okay? By the way, I also want to mention at this time that I do personal astrology readings. So check out my 2020 special, $20 for 20 minutes of video reading. You can do 20, 40, 60. Let me know what you want. Let me know your questions are. And we can actually go into how some of these transits are going to be affecting you personally. Moving on, another planetary movement that we have is Venus entering Aries on the 7th of February. This is a really fun energy, okay? We have been hanging out in the last few signs of the zodiac for the most part, all right? And you guys might have heard me talk before about how the zodiac signs kind of mature. They get a little heavier, they get a little more serious. They're less focused on beginnings and more focused on the endings of things. And when I talk about these, so it's these older signs, okay, we moved through Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Finally, we have one of our interpersonal planets moving into Aries. All right, so this is the beginning of the zodiac. Venus is here. Venus is ready for a new beginning or a new journey in love. I got the word inception. Okay, so the idea that Aquarius energy has us thinking about universal love. Pisces energy has us dreaming about what love could be for us and in the world. And Aries has us beginning to take the steps to create the vision of love that was seen in Pisces season. All right, so Venus moving into Aries, that's a very potent, and that's a cardinal sign. All right, so there's going to be this window of time. Let me check this out. Look at my dates and make sure I have this right. From the 7th through the 9th, okay, when we have that full moon in Leo, there's going to be this amazing collection of fire energy just for a moment, all right? And it's going to help burn up a lot of the air that was generated in Aquarius season, all right? So Aquarius is an air sign. It's all about thinking really kind of lofty thoughts, like genius thoughts, okay? Thinking really big, abstract thoughts about yourself, about the world, about the way you feel, about the way you act, okay? So there's been a lot of mental fuel created for this fire, all right? So fire burns oxygen. Venus is in Aries, Mars is in Sagittarius, which, by the way, it does move into Capricorn on the 16th. But Mars in Sagittarius gives us that mutable fire energy. Venus in Aries is the cardinal fire energy. And then we got a full moon in Leo, and that's that fixed fire energy. So between the 7th and I'm going to say the 10th, there's this really magical fire energy that is available to us right before Mars moves into Capricorn, the Sun moves into Pisces. That's going to happen on the 18th, by the way, okay? So we've been caught up in a lot of air energy and a lot of water energy is where we're headed. So this is going to be an amazing window where action can be taken in a really significant way. All right, where we're feeling empowered, we're feeling in touch with what our heart is telling us. So I just want to go ahead and highlight that window of time. Okay, that window of time is going to be very, very, very important. I will say that when Mars moves into Capricorn on the 16th, that's another cardinal sign, and that's going to bring it into harmony with Venus. We've had a lot of tension between Venus and Mars lately, so I'm really excited to see how that's going to play out. But let's get back to this full moon in Leo, okay? This full moon in Leo, let's go back to the title, Easy Like Sunday Morning, all right? I love that message, but it can be a little deceptive, okay? I'm going to say that this 2-week period of time, kicked off with the full moon in Leo on February 8th, will be easy like Sunday morning if, in fact, you've been doing the work, okay? So if you're new to the channel, let me talk to you what I mean about the work. We're all here in this lifetime to learn certain lessons. We have a destiny, and while our destiny can evolve, if we don't evolve ourselves, we never really get to fulfill our destiny. So that's my goal. But here's the thing. There is a lot of healing to be done as a human being. There is a lot of ego work to be done as a human being. There's a lot of shadow work to be done as a human being in order for us to become our highest selves and be able to move towards fulfilling our destiny. What is best for ourselves in this lifetime, and what is best for the greater consciousness of the planet. All right? So the goal is to get there, right? To find your path, find your destiny, proceed in your path, become the person that you're meant to be. But there's a lot that holds us back in what is known as sort of our shadow side. So the work that we do is shadow work. We get in and we shine a light into that space, and we take a peek at what is really holding us back. And a lot of that stuff resides in the ego. Okay? The ego is just what binds us to our human experience. All right? I don't believe ego exists outside of this lifetime, outside of this human experience. It is, in fact, what makes us human. Okay? So we're these divine spirits, these divine souls who are chained to our human existence by our limited perception, by our ego. All right? So the theme of this full moon in Leo is ego illuminated. All right? And ego doesn't have to be a bad thing. If you have been doing the work on your shadow side and making sure that your ego is in a healthy place, this is going to be a really fun transit for you guys, okay? It's going to be just like your heart's going to be singing about stuff. But if you have not been doing that work and you still have some work to do just to get to know your ego, bring it on over to your side so it stops sabotaging you and it stops holding you back. This is going to be a time where those limitations, those restrictions are going to be eliminated, all right? It's not going to be you're not going to be able to turn your eyes anymore to the fact that those unhealthy ego symptoms exist, okay? So the healthy ego, and before I go into this, I'm being guided to talk about this, actually the second version of this AstroForecast that I did. There was just so much information that came to me after doing the recording that I decided to go ahead and take those notes down and do the recording again. But the intuitive message that came to me last time I was doing this recording was about all of this fire energy being rooted in the lower chakras. I talk about chakras a lot, you guys, and don't worry, I'm getting out lessons for you, just really short little things to be like, hey, here's what I mean about chakras. If you don't have time to go sit on a mountaintop in Tibet and really get into meditation and understanding your spiritual body, then here's a way that you can incorporate that into your day-to-day life where you have bills to pay and mouths to feed and things like that, okay? But keep an eye out for that, okay? The introduction to chakras episode that I've got coming out for you guys. All right, moving on. The ego, the chakras that root us to the earth, that root us to this human incarnation, these are the lower chakras. So the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, they are associated with the colors red, orange, and yellow. Okay, and they, as I was doing this video yesterday, really wanted me to align these chakras with the different fire energies of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay, these are the chakras where we experience feelings of safety, security. I know my needs are met. I can invest myself in creative and passionate pursuits. I can produce and create things, but also I can exert my will into the world and act in a way that is in alignment with my intentions and desires. All right? So this is the potential that we have during this time period, is really to align those lower chakras. All right? because it especially in the solar plexus chakra, which is associated with the sun rules Leo. This is where our ego is rooted, in these three chakras, all right? So we talk about the healthy aspects of an ego. A healthy, pardon me, you guys, a healthy ego talks about what you're proud of, being proud of what you are, knowing what you love, just being in touch with what you love, being able to love and celebrate what you love, okay? It's about confidence, joy, pride in its most positive way, okay? I love who I am, I love the things I love, and I love what I do in the world, okay? So an unhealthy ego are those sides of us that are the negative aspect of pride. You're too proud. Your ego restricts you from doing certain or saying certain things, making certain apologies, trying something a new way, admitting that you were wrong at another point in time, okay? Anywhere that you feel shame, anywhere in which you are not, in which you are aware of what you do not have, of what you are not, of what you have not accomplished, okay? Those kind of things can really eat away at you if you still have work to do on your ego, okay? So this full moon in Leo, that's what it's all about, is illuminating your ego and really kind of what state is that in. Because if you have a positive, healthy ego, guess what? That's going to help you manifest all of your desires. If you don't, it's going to sabotage your ability to manifest all of your desires, okay? So this very short window of time, February 7th through the 9th, please be aware of that. Just be aware of your ego and the way that it is acting in your life, okay? I'm going to give you an example of a really healthy ego development, okay? Some of us, unfortunately, were raised to believe that we are worthy of abuse. Did you know that? I'm sure you know somebody like that if it's not you, okay? I really, truly believed, like conditioned to believe and to just know. That was the story that our ego told us, okay? Is that we are worthy of abuse. That's very shameful, isn't it? Right? So if you learn to separate yourself from that narrative, realize that that was a false narrative that was handed to you, realize that you love yourself enough to never enter into an abusive situation again, there is an example of a really healthy, positive ego shift. You took a negative, unhealthy aspect of your ego, and by working with it, talking to it, healing it, you're able to shift it to a really positive ego aspect, okay? So that's the kind of work that is possible during this transit. That's why all the rest of the planets are moving around in a way to make it feel easy like Sunday morning, because that work in and of itself needs your attention, and it may not be the easiest work to do, but I promise you it is going to pay off. As the rest of the planets begin to swing around to Aries, to the beginning of the zodiac, there's going to be so many amazing new opportunities. You guys, the feelings and the intuition that I'm getting about spring 2020, it is the blow up, the grow up, the glow up, like so much amazing reaping what we have sowed all winter long. Okay, so this full moon in Leo is an opportunity to check in with your heart, to really get a good look at the sun before we're dragged back underwater into Pisces season, before we get shot back out into Aries season on the other side, okay? I know it's winter in the northern hemisphere and it's hard to do this, but be in the sunshine as much as you can during this time period. I'm going to just kind of put some prayers out there and hope that the sunshine can find you. And if it's not coming from without, y'all know it can come from within. So thank you so much for being here with me today, and happy full moon in Leo to you.